Hello everyone, Bob here. Today, we're going to look at Jaws on 4K. I finally got my hands on this. For those of you that don't know, the film takes place in a seaside town called Amity, and after a few shark attacks, Robert Shaw, Roy Scheider, and Richard Dreyfuss go out on a boat to hunt for the great white. It's a big shark, and I'm not going to spoil any of the plot details in case you haven't seen it, but I am going to go over the packaging and then give my thoughts on the transfer and the audio quality. The front cover of this 45th anniversary edition is a lenticular cover, so it moves as the camera doesn't really pick it up very well. It's a slipcase. This is the back, side, spine, top. This is the back of the cover when it's in shrink wrap. I've just removed the glue. In this situation, I do generally keep keep these with the movie. I just take the glue off of it so they don't stick. Of course, you have the movie itself, which the back cover mirrors that, front cover mirrors that, just without the lenticular. Then you open it up. I've already used the digital code, so don't try. You get the 4K and the Blu-ray. It also came with a little book. It's one-handed, sorry. From the producer. Information about Spielberg. John Williams' score is perhaps most influential to this movie because it is iconic in itself. Everybody knows the Jaws theme, whether you've actually seen the movie or not. Storyboards. The Indianapolis speech. Of course, for those of you that don't know, Indianapolis was the naval ship that took the atomic bombs that were dropped on Japan. It took them across the Pacific Ocean, dropped them off, and on the return trip, it was torpedoed in shark-infested waters. And those who didn't die in the sinking, the ones that died were attacked by sharks. And that's the book. All in all, the film Jaws is a classic. And this is one of the 4K releases I was looking forward to when it was announced. And the video did not disappoint. The grain that's present is natural and has a very film-like feel to it. There was no edge enhancement or digital noise reduction. There's some pictures, especially when the shots that are underwater that are looking up, like at the unsuspecting victim, when you see the sun sparkle on the top of the water. The lighting with the HDR, it's great. It's amazing. It looks outstanding. Picture, couldn't ask for it to be better. This is the best by far this film has ever looked. Sound wise, you have two options. You can watch the film in the DTS HD MA stereo, or you can listen to the new Dolby Atmos track. The Dolby Atmos track does not, it doesn't completely reinvent the wheel, so to speak. It still uses your two front channels, and of course your center channel is used for dialogue in it. It still uses them primarily, but the other surrounds and the overhead channels they just add little nuances. It's not changed that much, but it is a fuller sound. I understand why purists will want to refer to the stereo track, but give the Atmos track a listen to. It sounds amazing. It is the Jaws theme when it plays on it, and you know how important it is to this movie. It's more impactful. It's more forceful. It's you can feel the for those first few notes, when it starts out really slow, you can almost feel them with this. Outstanding job. Top marks there as well. For the film itself, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Classic piece of cinema. Video, 10 out of 10. It looks amazing. I can't imagine this picture looking any better. Audio, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. Solid marks all the way around, whether you're a film fan or a fan of this movie in general. Pick it up without taking the extras into account. The extras are just bonus at this point. And now I'm going to mention a few things that are considered spoilery. So I'm going to, like I have been on some of my other reviews, so I'm going to put up a quick spoiler warning, and then I will talk about favorite part, least favorite part, so on and so forth. Okay, guys, time for the spoiler section of this review. My favorite part is when Quint's giving his Indianapolis speech, which I kind of alluded to a little bit a minute ago. It doesn't really have anything to do with the plot, but it is. The Indianapolis is that ship that carried the atomic bombs across the Pacific during World War II, and then it sank, and it was in shark-infested waters. Being a big, I'm really into ship and naval history, so just that callback to that, because I've read 2 or 3 books on the subject. That's always been a favorite part of mine. I know in the scheme of the movie, you're like, why is that? That's kind of one of the few spots in the movie that's where the shark in there that isn't as fast-paced or exciting, but that is a very big part of the movie. To me, I really liked that callback to that. Least favorite part, I'm a dog owner. I always hate to see the dog die, but this one looks like a dog that I used to have, so it just kind of makes me feel bad. I mean, I know that's not that big of a deal in terms of the movie, but it's still my least favorite part of the film. Kill count, or body count, or whatever we want to call it. So there are 5 people that die in Jaws. 4 of them are on screen. There's one guy whose leg is bitten off, and it's presumed he's eaten. Well, technically, I guess most of them are killed off screen when they're sucked under the water, but this one, you see his leg drop, and then that's the last you ever see of him. So that's why I called him off screen. But there's also 2 sharks and the aforementioned doggy. Favorite score moment. John Williams made this whole score that lifted the film to a whole nother level. I mean, with And this is not a knock on Spielberg, whatever, because he did his part extremely well too. Everything about this movie was done absolutely perfectly. But if you didn't have that score, you wouldn't have the tension wouldn't build nearly as quickly, and it wouldn't be nearly as an iconic film as it is. But the score as a whole is awesome. But I guess you got to go with the that slow build up with whenever the shark's getting ready to attack, and everybody, I'm sure everybody knows it. But that would be my favorite score moment. That is the most important part of the score, and in such an iconic score, how can you pick anything else? Well, that's all I've got this morning. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content of this video, please give it a like. Please consider subscribing to my channel. I try to have new content up daily. Follow me on Facebook or Twitter. Just search for Bob the Film Guy. And for now, this is Bob, signing off.